No one has the power to tell you you'll never work in this town again. Number one, no one has that power. You know why? The most powerful person you can think of, there are a lot of people that hate that person. So they're not going to do what that person wants them to do. Second, that person is not going to be in power forever. So if anybody tries that one on you, they're trying to manipulate you, because even the most powerful people in town would never say that. That's number one. Number two, I lost my train of thought. About advocating for yourself. No one can, number two, and I know this is easy for me to say, but it's harder for it to land. When something happens to you on set, you lose all of your leverage if you let the show go away and then try to do something about it. My personal rule of thumb, when I'm in a sticky situation, I ask myself, 10 years from now, will I regret not saying something? Will I regret, 10 years from now, will this mean something to me? And if the answer is no, I let it go. And I love to let things go. I don't want to make an issue out of things. I don't want to be that person. And the producers want you to feel safe and have a great time. No one's trying to do anything bad to you, but it happens and you have to tap in. So in that moment, I knew if I let this slide, if I let this man disrespect me right before my close-up and disrespect all the other people on the set, because, the other times it happened, never mind, I won't even go into that. But that's the importance of that. Anisha.
Days where I feel like I'm training a lot, and I'm also auditioning a lot, and sometimes with the same casting directors, but it's like, I don't want to say I feel stuck, because I do feel like it's like progression.
And if you're coming back for the same casting directors, you are not stuck. You are not stuck. They're looking for something for you. That's the best sign. They're just waiting for that right thing. So don't feel stuck. Take that as a huge sign of progress. Do you ever do postmortems after your audition? See, I do a postmortem after every audition and after every episode. When I finish an episode of television, I go back through my script and I watch it. And I read what choice I made, I watch what I did, and I'll put a check mark if I played that choice effectively, and then I'll put an X if I didn't, or if I changed it, I'll circle it. But maybe some postmortems after some of your auditions might help you feel a little more like some movement is going forward. But it sounds to me like all the evidence is coming back to you that you're doing great.
Thank you. I like that. I haven't done that.
Yeah, it's important to know, because they're just looking for something for you.
When you do go on set, besides making eyes with the director and the writer, what other tech person do you always go to?
Ooh. You asked the $500 billion question, because that would have been in my next section, which is super duper important. I'll ask it as a rhetorical question, but many people don't know this, so I don't expect anybody to necessarily have the right answer. When you do a series, who is the person that has the most leverage in you getting another job? None of those people. None of those people. See, and this is the thing that most actors don't know. You know who it really is? The studio and network executives. Because the director can want you, the writers can want you, the showrunner can want you, but the person that has to approve you is the studio and network executives. And they go from network to network. They go from show to show. They rise, they change. And a lot of times, for example, after I did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., at that point I was hip to the game. I knew who the executives were, made sure and introduced myself, right? I did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Our executive from the network went on to become the president of the network, okay? My next series was one called Notorious. I auditioned for it, got it, ran into her at a wedding, said, "Thank you so much for the role." She said, "I probably shouldn't even tell you this, but that day we had a bunch of roles to cast and we were watching tape after tape. And now we got to your role and they went to press play on your audition and then somebody had to pause it and your face was just paused on the screen. And someone said, "Isn't that the guy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?" And she said, and then I said, "Just give it to him." And they didn't even watch the tape. Studio and network executives. If you ever have the opportunity, and that is the ball that most people fumble when they're a series regular. They don't make nice with the studio and network executives. And that to me is one of the juiciest chunks in the course that people need to know. Even if you're a guest star, the studio and network executives aren't going to be on the set every day. If you hear they are, and they're very awkward people. They're not, they're not performers. They're not in front of the camera, so they don't expect attention. But if you get the opportunity to introduce yourself to one of those people, that's who you really want to know. Obviously, the showrunner, the director, the writers, these are people you want to make nice with as well, and they will help you book a lot of work as well. But if it's a series regular, it has to be approved by the studio or network executives.